Alright, the next game we're playing is called I'm Making a Monster, but this one does not yet exist on Twitch. So I'm going with games and demos. Little general. Why did you do that? Why did you get a gold tooth? Just one gold? Don't want to look like some SoundCloud rapper. But one gold tooth is like a pirate. Is that what you're going for? Alright. We got this new one going on. It's a new game called I'm Making a Monster. This one is about a character who is trying to create a you know, some piece of work, which, you know, is a monster. And they get distracted by their friends who want them to not focus too much. Just in case of zombie apocalypse, I have something to barter with. Is that the whole goal? You had that in mind from the start. Alright, so thank you for playing. Thank you for trying out this prologue. We're a two-person team based in Canada, and we hope you enjoy our game. The prologue is 10-15 minutes long. We encourage replaying it at least once to explore different options. Okay, we can try that. Does it sound loud enough? You got the outline done? Nice. Had to skip the Americans? Whatever do you mean? Okay, we're gonna start this. I'm scared. It's a very, very new game. This literally just came out. Oh, that's our name? Okay, you guys, give me a name. I need a first name and a last name. You guys decide what my name is going to be in this game. The first name I see is the one I'm going with. You know, spelling mistakes. Yo, God, Donison Ray. That's a good name, Donison Ray. Noodle, I'm sorry you weren't quick enough, Mr. Wolfie. We are she, her, hers. There's other pronouns, the neo-pronouns that I'm not aware of. You can decide to change pronoun every time. That's gotta be really difficult to follow. Okay, we're gonna go with this. The year leading up to it was much like any other. The moments loop in Donison's mind, ceaseless and rough as river rapids. A lot of alliterations here. I like this. Also, I like the watercolor element here. It's very cool. I swear they make new pronouns up just to mess with people. I do find them a little difficult to use myself. I have tried to use different neo-pronouns and they just confuse my brain. It feels like learning an entirely new language, but I haven't met a lot of people who use them, so. Oh, you're right. I did leave that. But I mean, I only clicked one, so I don't think it's going to do anything. I don't know. We'll see, right? If she had known. Donison is at the beach. She's guarding the spot. Also, I love this. This is like the kind of paper you have for water paint. Water. How's it called? Is it just water paint? There's another term for it. I don't know. Donison is at the beach. She's guarding the spot Delaney claimed while she grabs snacks. Don't move an inch, she'd said. Donison considers the blowing sands lifted by the chilly breeze coming off the water, then looks up to the clear sky. She wishes she'd brought a book. She shivers slightly. Summer wasn't supposed to be so cold. You know what? She said to wait. I'm gonna wait. Watercolor, that's what it is. Thank you. Yes, it is what I mean. Thank you, guys. I have a bad brain in the evening. Donison lies back and closes her eyes. Why not let herself be pampered for once? I never do that. I don't let people pamper me. Could they have shared more time together? Donison reclines against the park bench. Delaney left to use the bathroom, and Donison's been conjuring small flames above her fingers to pass the time. I have superpowers! And keep the autumn chill at bay. The bench is hard and its seat awkwardly angled. Donison shifts uncomfortably. She notices some movement in the corner of her eye and turns to see a sausage vendor. A sign proclaims the sale of homemade apple cider. I'm gonna wait. You know what? I was told to wait. I wait. You have a watercolor painting around somewhere that your great aunt did. That's pretty cool. I've never succeeded in making anything good with watercolor. Mathis, welcome in. DJ Howler sounds good, Wolfie. What is DJ Howler? Is that a new nickname for Wolfie? Are we calling him DJ Howler now? Is that a thing? Maybe we should. Donison doesn't really like apple cider and can't remember Delaney's opinion on it. Getting up for something no one wants is an unnecessary hassle. Lol. How are you doing, Mathis? Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. We're having a very fancy watercolor game right now. After some time, Delaney returns. Shall we? She asks. Donison leans back on the terrible bench. I'm not sure. I was just figuring out the ideal position to not be incredibly uncomfortable on this demonic piece of wood. Delaney smiles. I'll leave you to it then. Or, she asks. Or you could help me exorcise a demon and we could trap and study them. You've got my attention. What do you need for an exorcism? Oh, 'cause of the gold tooth. Makes sense. You did used to DJ? What the hell? Wolfie, what kind of double life have you been leading? Not even telling us about that. The two begin an intense but leisurely walk and talk, speculating on demons, exorcisms, and summoning circles. I don't think we need to give up just because there aren't any recorded sightings of demons, or any proof of their existence, Delaney laughs. All the more glory for us once we catch this one. Many plans are formed, but alas, nothing comes of them. The sun begins to set and goodbyes are made. We'll get them next time, Delaney promises. Could she have stopped it? It's New Year's Eve and Donison is at Abella's. She's chatting with Max about their new job. Corey comes by with champagne flutes. I don't know what Delaney is doing in the kitchen, but she said to disturb her at your peril. Max laughs and takes the preferred glass. We'll need to take a look then. You know what? She don't want to be bothered? We'll listen to Delaney. She wants to be left to her devices? We do. Yeah, I'm done. I sent it to you. Okay. It might take some time like last time. It took a bit before it arrived. I'll check it out. I don't know. Last time I pushed her, she made good on the threat. What happened? Max asks, wide-eyed. Donison looks away sheepishly. I don't want to talk about it. Max turns to face the others. Abella? If Donison doesn't want to talk about it, then you won't hear it from me. Corey? I'm so glad you asked. You see, Corey, Abella groans. Come on, it wasn't that bad. You don't really mind, do you, Donison? You do mind, actually. No, I do mind, Donison says. Oh, my bad then, Corey frowns. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Donison smiles. No harm done. Anyone want to bet on what Delaney is up to in the kitchen? Max asks. The conversation flows to other places from there. Is everything inevitable? Probably. Not for money, just for funds. I did a friend's house party, sister's engagement party, and just in online games. Oh, that's cool. Last time it didn't send when I sent it to you. Got it. I'll have to check afterwards. There are fresh tulips on the windowsill. Delaney brought them over. She'd said they were the first blooms of the year. She left a few minutes ago and Donison is cleaning up the dishes from their shared lunch. There you go. Oh, you sent it again? Okay. What is the difference between argued and bickered, guys? I think it's the same, isn't it? Isn't argued and bicker the same thing? Oh god, I got three emails from you. What is this about fake blood? Ah! I didn't want to see your blood. Why you sent me blood? You were bored? Oh, that's a really good noodle. It's so good. You did a really good job. I'll share it with everybody on the Discord. Maybe bickered is more petty. Okay. It's fake? Okay, better be fake. Better be ketchup. I'm gonna go with argued then instead of bickered. They had argued over the components of a new spell, and Delaney had said something very hurtful. The flowers and lunch were an apology. The room feels emptier now that she's gone. Okay. I'm no longer a noodle. Just in time, we finished drawing. Yeah, it's the same. Bicker is over meaningless things. It's Halloween fake blood that I have left over. Okay. So you didn't really cut yourself earlier. I'm gonna call her. Dennison picks up the phone and rings Delaney. She picks up after a few seconds, longer than usual. Sorry, I couldn't find my headphones. What's up? I was just thinking of you and wanted to chat a bit longer. She laughs. You're seeing me on Thursday. The two chat the rest of her trip home. They discuss an album release, a controversial new toy line, and the merits of different flowers in strength-increasing potions. But Thursday never comes. Dennison won't see Delaney again. That's so sad. The other finger better not be bleeding that bad. A month passes. There are many monsters in our stories. Some come from folklore and seek to tempt, harm, or devour. Others come from history. They have already tempted, harmed, and devoured. And some monsters come from us. We shape them through our words and by our actions. We give them their truth, their name, and they rise for us to tempt and harm and devour. All monsters leave scars upon us, though the scars themselves vary. And these scars sometimes birth their own monsters, monsters born of our skin, of our pain, of our isolation. This is really good. Monsters born of us contain us within them. Their eyes are mirrors, and we tremble in their sight. Sometimes we create the monster, sometimes we become it. Dennison Ray has a raw and angry scar. It itches and bleeds her soul. No matter how she howls, it will not cease its scratching. Then one day... Can you use your magic and make my school day tomorrow go really, really fast? There are multiple ways to do that. One of the best ways I have, the best spell for quickening time, and I don't recommend doing it too often because you will regret it. If you haven't seen the movie about the remote control that allows you to skip things, if you haven't watched it, you don't know what you're in for, but you can speed up time anytime you need or want. And the best trick to do that, the spell, is to be extremely focused, to do something and be very, very, very busy. By the time that you're done with your very, very busy thing, you look up at the clock and you'll be like, shit, time passed so quickly, everything went by, and now school is over. That's my trick. That's what I did to work today. Things only go fast when you're fully engaged with them. Exactly, Wolfie. That's exactly what I said. Yes, click. I forgot the name. But don't do that trick too often, because if you spend all of your time busy and quickly going through your days, one day you'll look back and feel like you actually missed on a lot of cool opportunities to slow down. I think that's what click is meant to teach you, you know? Dennison has been shut in her room for a month. She has not eaten a proper meal in more than a week. She has only drunk water under extreme duress. Today, Dennison opens the door to her room of her own volition, a rare occurrence her friends will be equally excited and nervous about, and stumbles from its dark depths with a dehydrated wobble to her step. Fumbling for some scrap paper and tearing off the lid to a pen, Dennison drops onto a stool and begins to sketch. Fervor and ink splatter onto page after page in unsteady strokes. Hours later, After hours, during which friends come over and find Donison are relieved to see her out of her room and then distraught again to find Donison unable to tear herself from work, Donison holds up a final page of formulas and diagrams. Exclaim in triumph. Yes, she says, it can be done. Donison almost bounces up from the stool, but she lacks the energy or coordination. Instead, she settles for lifting the page up, beaming at her work. What can be done? Donison jumps at the sound, almost falling over in the process. She had not noticed that a friend had crept into her kitchen while she worked. Abella leans out from the doorway, mixing bowl in hand, trying to hide her worry behind a smile. Donison does not try to hide her rising excitement. Oh, Abella, she says, I'm going to make something unlike anything I've made before. Abella continues stirring, waiting. She has played this game before. You're a fountain of knowledge. Yes, you are, Wolfie. Do you have another idea on how to draw you? She does look like Tiana. You're so right. Yes, she does. Also, like, the green element does tie her back to her. Another way to draw me, like, you're like drawing me so much. You can draw other things too, you know? I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Does anybody in chat have an idea? I'm making, Donison continues, something redemptive. Abella raises an eyebrow. Tell her the truth. This is the monster. I'm making a monster. Okay, we can try to see if there's other endings to this. That could be interesting. Wolves are good to draw. You mean drawing wolves or a wolf that draws something? Can I draw your brooch and put random smoky things around it? Like, it's you in soul form? Yes! That's a cool idea. We're gonna go back to the menu and try again. Just different decisions. I'm gonna go with darker decisions, you know? And we're gonna keep the same name. Okay. The year leading up to it was much like any other. The moments loop in Donison's mind, ceaseless and rough as river rapids. If she had known. Donison is at the beach. She's guarding the spot Delaney claimed while she grabbed snacks. Don't move an inch, she'd said. Donison considers the blowing sands lifted by the chilly breeze coming off the water, then looks up to the clear sky. She wishes she'd brought a book. She shivers slightly. Summer wasn't supposed to be so cold. I'm gonna go after Delaney. She takes a second to admire her handiwork. What? Donison sets down her hat and throws some cheap sunglasses on top of it, hoping the combined weight won't be blown away. She takes a second to admire her handiwork, then sets off after Delaney. 2 minutes and 200 meters later. Donison spots Delaney in a long ice cream line. She's balancing a melty slushie on a pizza box. She raises an eyebrow when she sees Donison, but still smiles. Some spud guard you are. Next time you can do all the fetching and I'll take the easy job. Donison smiles and picks up her pace to reach her. But I was so lonely. I just couldn't bear another moment without you. Donison bats her eyelashes dramatically. Delaney rolls her eyes. If you talk like that, of course I'm going to cave. Donison smiles. It's not my fault that you're predictable. Delaney narrows her eyes. You're pushing it, Ray. My bad, my bad. You are wonderful and I wanted to experience the loveliness of waiting in line for food alongside you. She grins. That's more like it. She glances at the food in her hands. While you're here waiting with me, you might as well help carry this. She hands off the food and Donison laughs. I suppose this is my deserved punishment. Oh, you need inspo? I need a pic? Hold on. Yeah, you can find a pic somewhere, I'm sure. Could they have shared more time together? Donison reclines against the park bench. Delaney left to use the bathroom and Donison's been conjuring small flames above her fingers to pass the time and keep the autumn chill at bay. The bench is hard and its seat awkwardly angled. Donison shifts uncomfortably. She notices some movement in the corner of her eye and turns to see a sausage vendor. A sign proclaims the sale of homemade apple cider. We're gonna go get it this time. Donnison gets up and stretches her arms up, loosening the stiffness inflicted by the bench. Delaney probably likes apple cider, but really any excuse to leave the bench is a good one. The line at the cart is short. After a few minutes, Donnison returns to the bench holding 2 steaming paper cups. Oh, and it's hot apple cider? That's so much better. Delaney is back and is standing rather than confronting the bench. Donnison smiles and hurries over. Could she have stopped it? It's New Year's Eve and Donnison is at the Bellas. She's chatting with Max about their new job. Corey comes by with champagne flutes. I don't know what Delaney is doing in the kitchen, but she said to disturb her at your peril. Max laughs and takes the preferred glass. We'll need to take a look then. I agree with Max and storm the kitchen. Did you used to have a different model? Yes, I did. I used to have a free model that I had found that was, you know, anybody can use. And I wanted to have a unique one that I had an artist draw for me. But yeah, initially I had another model, which I'm never going to use again because I have no ownership over it, so I can't do anything with it. Donnison grins. Absolutely. Max begins to run for the kitchen. Onwards! Donnison and Max charge at the closed kitchen door, only to bounce off something a foot before it. Damn, she's warded it! Get me a candle in 5 minutes. Donnison starts rolling up her sleeves. Got it. Max runs off with her back. As Donnison examines the wards, Corey saunters over. Are you sure you want to do this? Absolutely. Of course. She turns and shouts, Max, where are we on those candles? 1 minute! Corey sighs. It's your funeral. Then he turns and wanders back to Abella. Max returns a moment later with a candle and Donnison gets to work. 5 minutes and 1 candle later. The kitchen door unlocks with a soft pop. Donnison and Max look at each other before Max grins and pushes it open. Delaney is standing in the middle of the room, hands covered in glitter, raising an unimpressed eyebrow. Why am I not surprised? Donnison laughs. You were goading, Max. I just came to help with the wards. She smiles back. Maybe I was. Max is over by the cauldron on Abella's stove. What is this? Then she notices the smell. The other model was less disturbing. Yeah, people followed me for the other model. And now they have to tolerate the new model. Donnison takes a deep breath, scenting berries and ozone. You didn't. I did, she says. And since you barged in, neither of you are getting any. It's a memory spell, Donnison explains to Max, who hadn't studied potions. One of friendship. It reminds of good times now past and solidifies the night you drank for you to cherish. It's a lot of work. That's so sweet, Delaney. Too bad you both won't be partaking of then, she sniffs, but Donnison is still smiling. She knows that this time Delaney doesn't mean it. 1 candle wax cleanup later. Donnison was right. Delaney begrudgingly shares her potion. What follows is a night of reminiscence and wonder. It's a night that will stay with all of them for a very long time. I can't find any on your brooch. I mean, there's no like close up on the brooch. I'm sorry. You're sad? I don't have anything for the brooch. Literally, the only brooch version I have is the one you see on the screen right now. I only tolerate it because Noodle Polymorph is eating into my point stash. Also, I was talking about that this weekend. I don't remember when exactly. But I did mention that I'm thinking, well, definitely I'm going for a live 2D model eventually next year. That's my goal. The ultimate goal is to have an animated model. But I have been thinking of different kinds of PNGs that I'm gonna have like artists create, and you're gonna be able to turn me into a bunch of different things eventually. That's kind of the idea. So I'm gonna give you that option to turn me into a bunch of different things. It's gonna be me at all times. It's gonna be like my character, but different versions of the character. And I took notes, so if you guys have any other ideas, like, I'm all ears. But right now what we have is a chibi version of me, a pixel version of me, or a pixelated art piece, a gender bent version of me, so I could have, like, I don't know, short hair or something, a monster version of me, like even scarier than right now. We used to have a cat girl version that you guys kind of liked. I could think about getting another one. I would like to have one that's based around Sailor Moon, to have like a Sailor Senshi sort of version of me. And we also had like maybe a Lego version that somebody mentioned. I think it was Mr. The Juice. I can't find your model, and when I do and I zoom in, it's all pixely. Well, the only thing about the brooch itself is that I think it's just a skull on it. Don't be silly, noodles don't have ears. Noodles don't have eyes and mouths either. So your argument makes no sense, Mr. Wolfie. Donison was right. Delaney begrudgingly shares her potion. What follows is a night of ferment. Oh, we already read that. Silly me. Silly me, is everything inevitable? There's fresh tulips on the windowsill. So I understand better what's happening, because the first version, I never did anything, and there was like never anything that happened. But in this version, when I'm playing, I'm choosing the other choices, and it's giving me a different insight. It feels like these are all different specific memories, and I'm reliving them and making decisions. You object, Mr. Wolfie? Then what would you rather I do? I'm giving you options to have me look cute. I could even, okay, I'm not actually gonna say that. I might not do that. No. I shall hold my tongue and go to my grave, keeping that idea secret forever. There are fresh tulips on the windowsill. Delaney brought them over. She'd said they were the first blooms of the year. She left a few minutes ago, and Donison is cleaning up the dishes from their shared lunch. They had bickered. Say it? I'm sure you would object to it too, Wolfie, so I'm not even gonna say it. They had bickered amicably over lunch, Delaney pestering Donison about her love of bad movies, and Donison calling out her love of other equally bad movies. The room feels emptier now that she's gone. This time I'm just gonna finish my chores. No tongue holding is against the stream rules. Good thing I'm the one who made up the stream rules, and has nothing to do with tongue holding. Donison refocuses on the dishes. She can call Delaney later. But later never comes. Donison won't speak to Delaney again. A month passes. There are many monsters in our stories. Some come from folklore and seek to tempt, harm, or devour. Others come from history. They have already tempted, harmed, and devoured. All stories are true, but to a degree which may vary. And like all stories, this one is true in all the ways that matter. I don't know why, this somehow reminds me of Patrick Rothfuss. It's a story with a villain who tempts and harms and devours. All monsters leave scars upon us, though the scars themselves vary, and these scars sometimes birth their own monsters, monsters born of our skin, of our pain, of our isolation. Scars are raw or scabbed or healed somewhat independent of time. Depth has more to do with it than freshness. The scars that run deep can cut more than anyone might realize. Donison Ray has a raw and angry scar. It itches and bleeds her soul. No matter how she howls, it will not cease its scratching. Oh shit, oh yeah, thank you so much for the hydrate. Are you guys asking me to hydrate when you feel like my voice is going bad or something? Is there like a reason, or is just like a sudden random thought that you have? I've been wondering that ever since I put the hydrate on there, and I never know what goes through your mind when you choose to make me hydrate. I never know. I need to know what I'm going to object to before I object to it. Okay, well, I was naming a bunch of different kinds of models I could have, and one of those models that I suddenly had an idea for, but I think would be probably either everybody's favorite or everybody's least favorite, would be a lewd version of me. Just like overly bouncing boobas or something. But then I don't really like that, so it's not gonna happen. And it just popped in my head, and I was about to say that, and then I stopped myself because it's not something I want to do. Therefore, me talking about it is like just either teasing you or like, I don't know. You object? Well, there you go. People will either object or want it. It's random. When I feel it's been a while, you talk non-stuff. Yeah, I'm chatty, am I not? I'm rather chatty. Then one day, Donison has been shut in her room for a month. She has not eaten a proper meal in more than a week. She has only drunk water under extreme duress. Today, Today, Donison opens the door to her room of her own volition, a rare occurrence her friends will be equally excited and nervous about, and stumbles from its dark depths with a dehydrated wobble to her step. Fumbling for some scrap paper and tearing off the lid to a pen, Donison drops onto his stool and begins to sketch. Fervor and ink splatter onto page after page in unsteady strokes. Hours later, after hours during which friends come over and find Donison, are relieved to see her out of her room, and then distraught again to find Donison unable to tear herself from work, Donison holds up a final page of formulas and diagrams, wallow in despair. "No," she says, "I'm not certain it can be done." Donison slumps on her stool, resting her forehead against the desk. What can't be done? 100+ years old skin boobies? Nah, thanks. We don't need to summon the gooners. There you go. That's what I was thinking too. I just thought it would be funny, but then I know that funny doesn't really translate the same for everybody, especially in an online situation, so it's not going to happen. Do you have a pet, or do you plan to have a companion in the form of another small spoopy creature? I actually had a bunch of ideas for spoopy creatures, but that's about as costly as any other like VTubing model in and of itself. So I'm just like, should I really get that? That's kind of a lot of money just for a pet. I don't know. Maybe eventually. Donison jumps at the sound, almost falling over in the process. She had not noticed that a friend had crept into her kitchen while she worked. Abella leans out from the doorway, mixing bowl in hand, trying to hide her worry behind her smile. I like her name. Abella is cool. No, I'm not gonna do a sex change rabbit, Wolfie. It has nothing to do with anything. Why are you obsessing over the rabbit? Donison picks herself up. She's never failed before, so why start believing she might now? "Oh, Abella," she says, "I'm trying to make something unlike anything I've made before." Abella continues, stirring, waiting. She has played this game before. "I'm making," Donison continues, "something horrific." Abella raises an eyebrow. "Tell her the truth." "I'm making a monster." I thought the ending might be different, but the ending isn't different. It's the journey that differs, I guess. But it's a really, really cool image. I really like it. Like, I don't feel like this is a monster. This is like a fairy creature. It's really cool. It must cost less than a half body model, but it depends, I suppose, on the animation or accessories you want. Yeah, and I demand a lot when I have like an idea or something. I want the most perfect version of what I'm looking for, especially when I start spending money, because if you just go halfway to what you really want, you're still paying so much for something that you have to start over if ever you want something more detailed or different later. So you end up spending a lot more than if you wait for exactly like the high-end idea you have. It was a joke. It's okay, Wolfie. You're allowed to make the jokes. Look at these little puppers. But yeah, that was a very interesting one. Very different vibes. I thought they would be a lot more similar in vibe, but they are not. The first one was a bit more, I guess, socially, it was more of a social visual novel where you interacted with people and had to read social cues. This one is much more poetic. I love the art style. I love the music. I'm intrigued by it. I'm going to add it to my wish list, and I will also give you the opportunity to do the same.